Hello everybody, welcome back to Scrappy Adam, welcome back to Follow a Sketch February from Sandy aka State Goddess at Scrapping Reflections. In the description box down below you will find links to the playlist, Facebook group and a few other links and anything else you may need. Today we are on to day 19, which is this lovely sketch, and we are on the penultimate sheet of the printout of sketches. As you can see, we have these 6 and these 5, and that is Follow a Sketch February done. I am super chuffed with myself that I have got this far. Long may it continue, because of course we have got 30 days of sketches right after Follow Sketch February, and right after 30 days of sketches we have got a sketchathon. More to come on that in due course. Today we have this sketch up here, which has 3 photos, some embellishment clusters, lots of layers. It is a sketch from Sketch and Scrap 5th Birthday Bash from Lisa Hiddy. Again, as I have said, throughout this month you can find all the details of who has created the sketches and all the inspiration in the Facebook group. So for this sketch we are going to rotate it. We're going to rotate it so it's on its side, because I am using portrait photos, not landscape, and I have 2 photos, not 3. I also have a cut file and lots of fun stuff. So let's see what I've got. So first up we have our paper. We have a Doodlebug Love Notes Sweet Hearts, and it is this gorgeous patterned hearts paper. We are going to use the B side, which is this sort of wood grain effect in grey. Then we have Simple Stories Quarantined Staying at Home, which is this gorgeous wood grain with all the coloured houses. And on the reverse, which is the one we're using, is this light blue. This is from their COVID-y sort of range. Then we have this cut file, which is like a messy mesh grid broken thing. And it's got some random letters and numbers, and I am simply going to use it as a bit of a background element. This cut file, I believe, is from Redefined Creative. It was part of their 30 Days of Cut File series from Redefined Creative and Some Assemblage Required. We've got some stickers. These are puffy and enamel and cardstock from Bella Boulevard, Our Love Song. And our 2 photos is Mick and myself with One Direction. Of course it's not the One Direction. It is One Direction at Madame Tussauds in London. And then we have a ton of embellishments. Again, most of these are from Bella Boulevard, Our Love Song. We've got lots of flowers and bits and bobs. We've got some simple stories thrown in. And we've kind of gone on a songy, music-y, love story kind of vibe. And I seem to have gone a little bit crazy on the embellishment front. And finally, we have a ruck of Flair from the Flair Hut, of course. So, let's see what we can do. Okay. So these embellishments as well, sorry, most of them are ephemera, but we do have some chipboard thrown in there as well. So first things first, I am going to cut my photos down ever so slightly. If we turn this over to remind ourselves, here is the sketch. So I am going to have my photos sort of very roughly something like this. Then this embellishment cluster will stay here. This title I will probably put at a little angle here. And then for this photo we're going to create ourselves a rather large embellishment cluster. That is the plan. I am going to cut off these branding strips. I am simply going to excuse me. I am simply going to mat the 12 by 12 onto here. I will probably gut this as well. Let's do that actually. so that we can mat our photos in the grey as well, just to bring a bit of continuity to our page. So we're going to take off the branding strip, and then I'm going to create a 1.5 inch border all the way around this page. Whilst I do have the Fiskars Precision trimmer, which I have to say I do love, couple of flaws to it, but overall I love, and I do have the Tim Holtz trimmer as well. I always use this one, which is just a cheap Hobbycraft one, which for all of you guys across the pond and elsewhere is the UK's version of, like, I don't know, Hobby Lobby, but nowhere near as good. They've stopped doing scrapbooking stuff. Well, they haven't stopped, but they've massively reduced it, and it's just rubbish, to be perfectly honest. I can go in there, I used to be able to go in there and always find something. These days it's very rare that I go in and actually find anything that I want, which is a shame really. We don't really have like physical bricks and mortar stores, which for me, I've never really had that, because I started scrapbooking only, what, 3 years ago? So it's a bit sad really that I've never had the experience of going into a physical shop. I guess it's just a sign of the times, because it's kind of all going, isn't it? Which is, it's sad really. But everybody shops online these days, and it's not just for scrapbooking either. I think that's the same in everything, isn't it, nowadays? We're all so busy, we have lots going on in life that we just don't have time to go shopping. So we just do it online, and then the shop shuts and we end up with nothing. Anyway, I don't know how I ended up on a little bit of a soapbox rant about shops, but there we go. So as you can see, I have trimmed my photos, I have taken the branding strips off our paper, and now I'm just putting some adhesive on the back of our photos, and we're going to mat them. Just a very simple mat with this grey paper. It's a great way, I think, if you are matting your layout, which I do quite a lot actually. Gut the middle of it and then mat your photos in the same paper, and it sort of brings a bit of continuity to your page, because it's spreading what you've matted your layout to the actual layout, and it just pulls it all together nicely, I think. So that's what we're left with. I will keep those as scraps, I know, don't fall off your seat. I do keep some scraps. Not many, granted, but some. More so since I started doing page kits for this series, which I have to say has completely got me back into scrapbooking, because I'd lost the urge, I'd lost the excitement, I'd lost the enjoyment of scrapbooking, which was a bit sad. So page kits definitely helped bring that back, and it makes it a more creative process for me now, and it splits up the finding the products with the actual creating. So when I then sit down to create and chat to you guys and do videos, or I have done some scrapbooking not filming, because filming it's an effort, shall we say, like it's hard work, as I'm sure anybody who does YouTube will tell you. Page kits definitely help bring that creativeness. So if you've never done page kits, I would definitely recommend it. And as I said, I think yesterday, can't remember because I'm filming these ahead. If you'd like to see me put together some more page kits, do let me know, and I'm happy to do that on camera and do a few more page kits and just show you my thought process of that. Okay, back to what we're doing. We have matted our layout. Here is our sketch. So obviously this is just an additional element. It's not shown here, We do have lots of layers, so I will get a couple of other pieces of paper for that. So what I'm going to do for this cut file is actually cut a bit of it off. So I am going to cut here, like so. That's one thing I would say with cut files. Never be afraid of chopping them up, making it work for you. More so if you've got pre-cut. But equally, if you are like me and you have a sort of mass cut-a-thon, where I will cut a load of cut files. I did it recently and I need to do it again because I've saved loads of cut files from a Cherry on Top and Paige Evans. Never be afraid of making them work for you. You can cut things off, you can do whatever works for you. Okay, so now we are coming down here and I am just snipping all the way along there. So we've took out a corner there, and then I'm just going to take out a few pieces dotted around, and I will keep these because these will be good for another layout as little clustering pieces, layers and so on. So let me just finish cutting this and then we can get this stuck down. Okay, so that is the cut file which I have cut down. And I've been left with some offcuts like this, which, as I said, I am going to keep and will use on another layout. It can go in the scraps box. I've used quite a bit of glue, probably a bit too much, hence why it might look like it's warping a little bit. It's just because it's drying. And then I've stuck this photo up on a little bit of foam. I don't know if you can see that. And this one is flat, so reverting back to our sketch, you can see that I've put my photos here. Now I'm not going to do the patterned paper layers behind. That's what I've used this cut file for. So we've kind of omitted the paper and gone with a cut file instead, making the sketch work for us. And now we're going to create a cluster here, here, title here, and that's pretty much it, to be honest. So let's see what kind of bits and bobs we want to pop on here. Now in terms of our title, I am not sure what title I want yet. So we've got story, so that could be some sort of title. And then, tell you what, let's just take a moment to sort these ephemera pieces out. So we've got some chipboard. I'm going to do this on camera with you guys. It's up to you whether you fast forward or not. Got lots of musical bits, so let's pop them sort of here. So we've got some cassettes, we've got some florals, and more musical bits. We've got these pieces and this border piece here. We've also got this border piece, which has been folded, but still we've got that banner, and then we've got these chunky pieces as well. So let me see if we can get it all in view. Still getting used to this new setup, which I do love. It's so much easier, and I'm hoping video quality, sound quality is doing good, and we're good to go. Okay, so lots of musical elements and florals. So it's going to be a very sort of musicy, excuse me, musical floral kind of layout. Now obviously it's Mick and I, but I don't know why I went with the whole love thing. I guess the One Direction boy band, that kind of vibe, along with lots of the musical elements, because I don't really have musical photos, but I love this collection from Bella Boulevard, which is the Our Love Song. I think it's a new collection, or it was new last year or at some point, because I don't remember seeing it. And then I think it was actually on one of the selling groups on Facebook. Somebody was selling it and I thought, oh, I like that. So that was last year at some point. Okay, so continuing on with this, we've got florals coming down here. You can't quite see some of them. We've got some wordy bits. Obviously, Bella Boulevard is still run by, I think it's Stephanie, isn't it? But they're now ultimately owned by Doodlebug, and you definitely get a Doodlebug vibe from Bella Boulevard, which I think you always have, to be honest. In my opinion, I don't think that's changed because Doodlebug invested in Bella Boulevard, but you certainly get that vibe, don't you? So we've got story here. Didn't One Direction have a song story or something? They did. Story of My Life. So that's going to be the title. I think it just kind of goes with the photo. Now I'm going to use this story piece, but it's sort of going into the background a bit because it's white with the border. So I've just taken my ink blending tool and some distress ink from Tim Holtz in Black Suit, and I'm just going round and inking the edge of this die cut, which is then going to just make it stand out. It's going to highlight it a bit. The photos are quite dark. Mick and I are both wearing some black, and there's some black in the photo, so I think inking the edges in the black will work. It's just a bit fiddly because obviously you've got all the letters that have been die cut, so it's not easy, but I'm not aiming for perfection with this at all. I just want to highlight some parts of it, and I think that will probably do there. Then I have some red alphas. I thought red is going to go with the theme of my life. So let's get those stuck on. So I went with Pink Fresh Studio Holiday Magic Chipboard Alpha. I have to say Pink Fresh are one of my favourite for alphas because A, they stick, B, the insides negatives always come apart very easily, and they're always very good quality. They also give you a great selection of the common letters. So I definitely prefer Pink Fresh Studio alphas over thickers, and especially chipboard thickers. Don't know if anybody else agrees with that, but Pink Fresh get my vote, and therefore Hip Kit do as well, because obviously Pink Fresh make them for them. That said, I do like Doodlebug and Bella Boulevard alphas as well. I'm a bit of an alpha addict. I do have quite a lot, but I have destashed a lot as well, and we are trying to use some, which is always good. So for the title, I've overlapped the story with the alphas, and we've popped that up on a bit of foam. So that gives us, I think it just makes it stand out that little bit more. I like it. I'm still not sure about the title, but we're rolling with it. And now we are going to build our embellishment layer. So I want to use this viewfinder. That's going to go sort of here, I think. And I want to use this. This is going to be our base for our embellishment area down here. And I'm thinking whether we could use this envelope as well. I know for a fact we're not going to use all of these embellishments, and that's okay. I clearly got a little bit excited with the ephemera from this collection. So I'm just going to grab all of the cassettes, I think, because that's something that I generally am never going to use. So it's good that we've got an opportunity to use them. So I want to see how we could get these on. So let's have a little looks. So we've got this record player, so I'm thinking something like this. And then I'm thinking actually, let's layer these going up this photo to the left. We've kind of gone off piece to the sketch by doing this, but you know, that's what I do, and there is no right or wrong way, so I'm not going to feel bad about doing that. We're just going to go with it, guys. So then we've got a little cluster down here, and then let's pop another one of these just about here. So I like the way that looks. And then I think, yeah, I'm going to layer this on there as well, just as like a little finishing piece. About there. So that is that little area. And then what should we do? Let's see. So I think we'll have some embellishment, can't talk. Some floral pieces going up here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ruffle these up and crumple it to get a bit of texture and dimension going on. So let's pop a foam dot in the middle of that and pop that there. So you can see now that we've got lovely dimension. And we're just going to layer up some floral pieces up here. I am using the florals from the Belle Boulevard collection. They're all matched, so it's nice and easy. We know it all works together. And we're going to have another crumpled up, foam dotted flower there. Do we want that in the middle? Yeah. I'm actually going to put that in the middle of that floral. And then one more flower, I think, just here. So I'm liking the way that that is looking, I think. It's just, I'm not sure. Something's, I don't know. Looks a bit, I don't know. I know none of that made any sense then. But something just appears to be lacking up here. I don't know what it is. So I'm going to pop that there. And then we're just going to keep building and adding some more ephemera, really. So let's add a little arrow on there. And this other sticker arrow I am going to add at the top here, like so. Now let's deal with this bit down here. So obviously we're not going to use all of these ephemera pieces because, believe it or not, I know you're going to find this really shocking. I brought too many embellishments in. So I want a journaling area, so that's going to be this piece for sure. So let's pop that about here. And then, let's see, has this tape just expired upon us? Yes, it has. So let's pop another one of them in there. So now it's just a case of finishing these pieces off. I have stuck the floral envelope, the clipboard and the record player there. And I've just got this stereo ghetto blaster, whatever you call them. Radio that I'm going to stick here. We've popped that up on foam just to give us a little bit of dimension. Then we've got a couple of these colour splash flare left, so I'm going to add a couple of them. We're going to have this colourful one, and then we've also got one that is black, which I think I quite like the idea of, just to highlight the black elements of the layout, such as the records in the photo, ink in the edge of our title and so on. So we're going to pop one down here and one up here. In and amongst all of that. We're not going to need an awful lot more, if I'm honest. We've still got quite a lot of embellishments, but doesn't mean we have to use them. Now I'm going to use these records as sort of sprinkling finishing touches. So a bit like I would use an enamel dot, but we're going to use the records, which is a bit different. So we've got this blue one, which I'm going to pop here. Then we've got two more. Let's see, we've got a blue teal one, which matches our background very nicely. Going to pop that up there, and then we've got a red one which we're going to pop here. And then to finish us off, I think we'll just add a couple of our musical elements, such as these musical notes, chipboard that isn't sticky, a shocker. Pop that there, and I've kind of lost the sketch now. Kind of. We still got, if we look at our sketch, embellishment cluster, yes. Embellishment cluster, yes. Title, yes. And we've still got the photo. So I personally think it's not bad. We've just made it our own, which I know Sandie is all for. And I guess, never be afraid to do that. I think a lot of people, there's a bit of a debate going on where it's like, oh no, you can't do this, you can't do that, you need to follow this rule of three, rule of colour. No rules. Do what you want, do what makes you happy. That's what it's all about as far as I'm concerned, and it doesn't matter if anybody else likes it, as long as you're having fun and you like it. So we're going to just finish off now with a couple of these musical notes. I'm going to use these puffy ones as well, just to give us that different texture. Definitely an array of embellishments with this collection, which I love, of course. I am an embellishment kind of guy. And then we're going to finish off with a couple of these enamel stickers. Again, more so just to give us the different textures, different interest going into our layout. Okay, down there, I think that's probably gonna do it for this layout. I don't think we need anything else. I do quite like the idea of adding this paper plane. I'm not quite sure why, but direction, travel, etc. kind of fits in my head. Not that I need to justify using it, but I've definitely gone with my more is more ethos for this layout, and I think I'm ready to say, guys, that that's done. That took a little bit longer than I thought. I do apologise, me rambling on, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you like the finished layout. It's definitely different to what I had in mind when building the page kit, but I think that's okay. I like how it has come out. I'm just adding the last couple of bits, such as an enamel heart in the middle of our florals. And we've got a couple of these enamel musical notes, which I'm going to use rather than just trying to find the sticky packet for them. And can we use these two? Yeah, of course we can. There we go. We've still got a couple of cardstock stickers, but that's fine. They can just go back in my stash with this collection. But that's going to do it, guys. I hope you like the finished layout. There's lots to look at, lots going on, but I think the photos still remain the focus of the layout, even though there's tons of embellishments and tons of colour going on. I will add a little bit of journaling here, and I may add a doodle border, I'm not sure. But other than that, this layout is done. Thank you so much for watching. Join me tomorrow for day 20, where we are on the final countdown. Don't forget to check out the description box for all the links, and thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.